Okay, so we're back, and it is the 19th of November. Today we are doing Lesson 3 in our math books. It is page 151. It's the butterfly with the squares on the wings. And let's talk about the picture that we see today. Listen to the addition word problem and think about how you can solve the word problem. There is a sailboat and 2 kayaks on the water. How many boats are on the water? I want you to just think about it and think about what is the problem here? What are we trying to do? We're trying to figure out how many boats there are on the water? Sure, that's a good answer. Let's think about, let's read it again, and I want you to listen very closely again, okay? It says, there is a sailboat and 2 kayaks on the water. How many boats are on the water? Think about that again. This time I want you to just think, and maybe you can figure out how many sailboats there are. Okay, and then maybe you can think how many kayaks are there? Good. And think about it again. What math question could you ask about this picture? We could make it addition. There's 1 sailboat and 2 kayaks. How many altogether? Yeah, we could ask that. Or we could ask, there are 3 boats on the water. 1 is a sailboat, the rest are kayaks. How many kayaks are there? So there are a lot of different ways we can look at a picture and interpret it. So let's go ahead and think about how many boats are on the water. How many are there? That's right, 3. Go ahead and write the number 3. Around the tree, around the tree. That's the way we make a 3. When you're done, flip your paper over. Good. Now let's look at this one. We're going to look up here at the picnic table. We're working on number 1, and there's an orange box around number 1. We're only working in this box. We'll save this one for later. Listen to the problem. How can you use objects or drawings to solve the problem? And then you have to complete the equation to model the problem. There are 2 apples and 2 bananas on the table. How could we draw that? Or how could we represent it? We can draw it. Let's go ahead and draw 2 apples and 2 bananas, right? Here's my apples. I'll make them kind of round, and I'll make my bananas more like an oval shape. 2 bananas. So now we have to write an equation. Think about what we put here. Put our first group here. We talked about apples. How many apples? Good. Around and down, pull it straight back. And then you trace your plus sign. 2 plus, what was our next group? Exactly, 2 bananas. And then don't forget to trace your equals sign. Let's read that together, just the equation part. 2 plus 2 equals how many pieces of fruit are on the table? Great job. I hope you're practicing your numbers and able to write them. Good job. Let's try the next one. This one we already have a picture. Now you just have to listen, and we'll figure out how to write an equation to match this picture. There are 2 buckets and 3 shovels. What was the first group I said? The buckets. How many buckets are there? 2. There are 2 buckets plus 3 shovels in the sandbox. How many shovels? 2 buckets plus 3 shovels equals how many toys are in the sandbox? That means you have to count them all together. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Write a 5. Excellent job. Let's put that paper aside and get out your next paper. Page 153, we have some sheep, and then we have a mystery. There is nothing there. We have to decide what to put there. So let's listen to the story about the sheep. Now we're going to have to write an equation to match this picture. You can listen to the story. So let's listen to it. It says, there are 3 sheep and 1 goat at the petting zoo. Oh, how many sheep did they say? Let's write that number first. And then how many goats? 3 sheep and 1 goat equals how many animals are at the petting zoo? One, 2, 3, 4. Good job. Now listen down here because you're going to have to do some drawings. There are vehicles down here. A vehicle is something with wheels that takes you from one place to another. It could be a bike, it could be a car, it could be an airplane. So we're going to draw a few things down here. Listen to how many there are. Oh, you have to make one up by yourself. Go ahead and make one up. You have to stay within the number 5. Don't go above 5. So you might start with 2 bicycles and 3 scooters. You go ahead and make one up and discuss that with your grown-up at home. When you're done, push pause for now. When you're done, I want you to turn the page and turn the video back on. Okay, so we're going to start on this side now. It says there are 3 turtles and 2 frogs are in the pond. So we have to write our equation to match this picture. Remember, signs go in these little circles. There are how many turtles? 3 turtles. There's a sign that goes in here. It's plus. 3 turtles plus 2 frogs equals how many altogether? 5. Good job. Now we have to do the same down here. We're going to fill the blanks in with numbers. The circles have to be a sign. 1 green fish and 2 yellow fish are in the aquarium. Let's fill in our numbers to match that so far. 1 green fish, so that goes first, plus 2 yellow fish equals how many fish are in the aquarium? 3. Good job. Excellent work today. Let's go ahead and flip our paper over. You guys are doing fabulously. Oh, we already did that page, so now we need to get the next page out. It's a big mystery here. We're going to have to draw some pictures this time. You're going to have to listen to the story and then we'll draw our picture. There are 4 gray bunnies and 1 white bunny at the campsite. So we're going to do 4 gray and 1 white. How many gray ones? 4 gray plus how many white ones? 1 white one equals how many bunnies are there now? Good job, 5. Excellent work. Turn your paper over. This is another one where you're going to have to listen to a story. Oh no, this one is another one you have to tell your grown-up about. Make a story up. There will be frogs and fish in this pond. So you decide how many. Write your problem to match. Have your grown-up look at it and tell your grown-up the story. Go head out and get your practice book now. If you need a minute, you need to push pause, go right ahead. In your practice book, we are on page 59. So I'm going to tell you the story for this one. There are 2 forks. So let's draw 2 forks and write our number 2. And 2 spoons. Don't forget to trace that plus sign. 2 plus 2 equals how many altogether? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Okay, I'm not going to help as much on this one. This one, you're on your own. The toy store has 1 basketball and 1 football. How many sports balls does the toy store have? So you're going to draw those. 1 basketball and 1 football. What are our numbers? How many basketballs? How many footballs? How many balls are in the store? Good job. This one has a picture, so we just have to listen to the story now. There is 1 hairbrush and 3 toothbrushes on the sink. How many brushes are there? What do we have to do first? We have to write something here. How many hairbrushes? And how many toothbrushes? Equals 1 plus 3 equals how many brushes? Excellent. Flip your paper. Push pause whenever you need to. You may have to rewind. Now up here, I want you to think about this. I'm going to give you a little bit of a clue on what to do here. So here we have to look at the equations. Our numbers here have to match the numbers that are up here. You say, I don't see any numbers, but there are. Look at how many snails there are. First of all, how many animals are up here? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 of them all together. Look, here's a 4 here and a 4 here. Ha ha! One of those is the answer, but I don't know which one because that's the only number I know. So I'm going to have to look at how many snails there are. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 snails. And how many iguanas are there? Or gecko? 1 gecko. So I have a 3, I have a 1, and I have a 4. Does this have a 3, a 1, and a 4? It only has a 3, so that wouldn't be it. Does this have a 3, a 1, and a 4? It only has the 4. Does this one have a 3, a 1, and a 4? Surprise, there it is. There you go. So that's how you figure it out. You're going to count how many snails, how many geckos, and then how many all together. And you can figure that out. Now you have to figure out how to write it yourself. So we're going to go down here and we're going to look at this one. There are books here. Listen to it. There are 2 books with a star on the cover and 1 book with a flower on the cover. How many books are there all together? So let's see. They said stars first. So let's see. 1, 2 of those plus 1 of those equals 2 plus 1 equals all together. How many books are there? That's right. You have to count the number of butterflies. Draw to show an equal number of objects. So we're going to just draw. Whoops, let me move my paper a little bit so we can draw right underneath. I'll give this little butterfly a flower. I'll give this little butterfly a flower. And I'll give this little butterfly a flower. See, they're all on their own flowers. That's an equal amount. Good job, boys and girls. We'll see you again tomorrow.